the Gearset plugin for Provar. This allows us to directly integrate with Gearset from Provar Manager without having to leave the Provar Manager Salesforce application. First things first, you'll need to create an API token in Gearset. Go into your account and access Token Management tab, and you can create an API token that you can use to authenticate and configure your Gearset jobs from Provar. Once you have this API token created, you'll need to save it somewhere where you can use it and refer to it at a later time. Then we'll need to navigate into Provar Manager Setup, where we can install the Gearset plugin directly from the Provar Manager Setup Plugins tab. Once we have the Gearset plugin installed, we can go to Gearset once we've assigned the permission set to our particular user. The Gearset Integrations page is where we can configure our API key, our job sync status, and test our connection to our Gearset instance. We can also save our settings to capture them on the back end. To change our API key, we simply go to Change, type in our key, and then save it there directly. Once we have it saved, we can test a connection to validate it, and we can enable or disable our job sync. Right now, it's currently scheduled at 10-minute intervals. We can also pause the sync and trigger it manually. This job sync will sync all of the job histories or CI job runs that have been triggered on Gearset for the particular jobs that have been mapped into Provar, to keep track of them on the Provar side as well. Next, let's look at the Gearset Job Manager. This is the main menu or page where you'll see all the Gearset jobs and their job run histories. We can filter all these by different names, our statuses if we're looking for currently running jobs, and validation states if we're looking for jobs that have not yet been validated. We can also add Gearset jobs to track inside of Provar if we capture the Gearset job ID directly from our Gearset Job CI Jobs page. We can capture jobs by going into the job ID here and copying it over into Provar. From there, we can create the job and then add it, and it'll validate it on the back end to make sure that's a valid job and allow us to sync those job histories. If you scroll down to the job run history, this will show us all the Gearset CI jobs that have been ran for the jobs that have been tracked inside of Provar. We'll also see all the test plan jobs that have been linked to those particular jobs. Now, the main point of this integration is being able to link and unlink test plan schedules directly inside of Provar here. We can unlink a test plan schedule and then show you how the linking works. It'll pull in all active test plan schedules inside of Provar, which could include Apex unit tests, could include regression tests that we're running on Provar, and could also include API callouts to external systems such as GitHub Actions or something like that. Once we have those linked, essentially what will happen is whenever that job completes in a successful status, it will trigger those test plan schedules to run automatically and report the results directly to the CI job run. Let's take a look at a previous run here. We'll trigger this and show you what it looks like as well. Once the job has been triggered, we'll be able to switch over into Gearset and see that job will get kicked off very shortly. We'll be able to monitor the status from Provar as well, and we'll also be able to see the results here once it's done. So let's look at a previous run where we can see the actual results. Once the results have been completed, we'll be able to see all the same Provar test plan schedule results that we would normally see, except now they have been linked to a Gearset job run. If we go to our Gearset job runs, we can see all the runs that have been executed in this particular environment, and we'll see all the ones that have been linked to a particular job as well. Again, if we go to our Gearset Job Manager, we can look at the history for a particular job by clicking View History, and we'll be able to monitor those in live time directly from Provar. If we go to the Request ID, this will take us to the CI job run, where we'll see a link to the test plan schedule once it has been completed. Assuming that job passes, we'll be able to see the test plan schedule results here as well. So that covers the most of our Gearset integration with Provar. We can also establish this integration from the Gearset side by going into Gearset and going into My Connections, Source Control and Services, and by configuring our Provar Manager connection here. Once it has been established, we'll be able to essentially go to our CI jobs and trigger test plan schedules directly from Gearset jobs inside of your job description. If we go to a particular CI job, we can edit the settings and go to the Test tab where we can select Provar Manager, and we can type in the test plan schedule ID, which will do essentially the same thing that we've configured from the Provar side, except this allows us to control it from Gearset and set those IDs here. The results themselves will be tied back to the job, and you'll be able to see those on the actual Gearset dashboard here for the job. If there are external tests that have been ran, we'll see the results directly on this column here. Now let's do a quick refresh so we can see that this job is still currently in status, and we can see the status is shown here as pending as well. There'll be a periodic sync that happens as we've configured inside of our settings, so if any jobs have been triggered from Gearset, we'll be able to monitor those runs as well through Provar following the sync interval.